This is Gerald Johan van Waas and the educational channel related with the book Sound in Form, with some more examples that are related with the book, a book that is available at Trafford and in some other distribution channels. It also exists in two parts, which are a bit slightly extended version of Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the same book. The first book is building up the theory with some examples, and the second one is more, what are the origins of this theory that sounds and letters have a meaning. And it will also show all the kinds of steering mechanisms that I found in certain languages and scripts, and of course some associations with spectrograms in the end, and some association with astrological patterns as well that you can find in the meaning of letters. But this time I will give you some examples that show you how words that have a single vowel or two vowels can mean a difference in the form that you when you change them into a form that you have. For instrument 1A, you have a starting point of one-dimensional form, starting point, and with a double A, a doubled region, so two-dimensional form that you create. One example in my book, I will explain it a little bit better and different, is that I will show here, and another example is also in my book, but also will explain it a little bit different and with more explanation. So they will guide you to what I already wrote in my book. One of the most difficult methods that you can find there is the method of deformation values. And these are about values that change over time. So in the fourth dimension, as a matter of speaking. So all the forms can also change over time. And this method is still not complete for all the letters, but you can find where the forms change over time. So in the word BAL, for instance, which is a ball, literally, you have the B where the form is pushed outwardly, the A, which also always follows just simply the focus, the main focus, and the L will have a movement outwardly and it takes it back inwardly. So it's a bit more difficult to perform it, but if you do so in BAL, in the technique that you use, you will push a volume forward, and you will take it back to you will take it back in, so that you can see that it starts from one center point, goes into volumes, as if that you have the surface, you are forming a surface on a ball. That is more or less what the result is of that technique. There are simpler techniques, but this is one of them, and it also works a bit as formulas. With the word BAL, it has two times the letter A, so it don't start from one center but from two centers, and the forming of a surface over something will create a longer, a stretched form, and it is actually a form as you can see here in the image, in the photograph. So that is the word BAL in Dutch word, and you can find them on the fields, and this form is indeed that one of a wheel. The other more simple method, of course, we already explained it once. I have, of course, there on the top right the result of the word BAL is like the pressure which goes from within towards an outer surface, and this is the bodily function of stretching that is actually expressed. It's more or less the same from a different focus. You come also to the same kind of expression that you form a surface, actually. But the surface on BAL is, of course, has a one dimension extra, as you can see. So BAL, so from these two kinds of methods, you see that there is you can form also some basic object there, but it is not the main focus of the word. The main focus has certain qualities that you can derive from it. And but the simpler method, where you have the surface qualities that you the qualities which are forming itself on the surface with a certain extension and variation there. I can also apply this to the word BAL, so I will do that. So of course this with this double letter R, it will be easy to understand that you have a larger letter R, so it will enlarge itself maybe even in two directions, or in an enlargement that you have to see. But if I express it, yeah, like it is what it is doing on the surface, it is actually with the L, it is stretching, it is adding layers. It is more or less like that. It's adding layers on top of each other, which express a pressure, which in the end maybe will form a full circle. But even there, it is a formation in progress. And solely seen from the progress itself, have there the drawing on the left. So it is a kind of continuous progression where you have the L, which is pressing outwardly, and it is stretching over, over again and again and again. And the second meaning of the word BAL, which is also used, is not just used for this wheel of hay, but it's also used for saying like, oh no, as a verb. So you balen van iets, from something. So it means it's something that you say, okay, this becomes too much of me. I feel a pressure. It's a pressure of disgust a little bit. It's overflowing. I'm disgusting. It's disgusting from this. I don't want it anymore. This is more or less the meaning of the second word. This overflow of pressure, that is actually the tension which is there, and that is why it is understandable it is used for this kind of expression. This you can feel in the sense as well. The second example now, I have the word volt versus volt. Also here I will do it differently as in my book, but I'll come to the same result. So the V, we will make the combination. We will make a kind of easy formula, an easy puzzle. So the V is always like a kind of vector, a move towards somewhere easily set. It's that. The O, the kind of surroundings, a kind of surrounding around something. The L, sort of partially bodily existence, and a certain part that you can make the formation in it. And the T, it's more like a kind of functional designation, somewhere that you can place easily where it is. So if I combine the V and the O, I will have this kind of move. Moving around or moving forward. The O and the L combined is more like, it's a part of it will be materialized, as you can see here. With V, O and L combined, as you can see, there's a move towards a further formation or materialization. That's the word vol. Vol also means full, by the way, of becoming full. Again, as an action, as a transaction, as something which is forming. It's not a completion necessarily. So here you have the vol. But of course, like I explained in one of the previous videos, the V is always in two directions. So it is pressing forward now in this case to increase, but it's only a part of it that is actually already formed. So the V is, something is forming, it has a whole kind of potential, but it will be only some part, mostly it's only some part that is taken as for granted or is realized. So if I combine both volt and with a T in the end, T will be a measurement, so a point of notice, so a measurement. So if I combine these letters, it will be like there's a progression, it has a tension, it goes stronger and stronger and stronger, but only some of it will come out, only some of it will be measured and will finalize itself and will find its progression. That's more or less the volt, so it's a measurement of this kind of pressure movement or whatever you can see inwardly, like a tension in the electricity, as you can see, so the tension builds up like in a battery, builds up, and some of it is already be able to be measured and be taken out, to be taken out as to use it somewhere, as a matter of speaking. That's why where you can make the association with volt, of course. But you also have the letter, the word volt. It's written differently, but I will just start from the point of view of the sounds that you hear. The O, of course, is always one center, the focus, where you have some kind of space in between where you will measure, well, you put some values on it in some kind of measurements and in certain variations. With the O, this will, the stretched O, it will be stretched over a larger area, of course, over a starting point and an end point, which have a space on its own. So the O will be measured, as you can see here, as with this double measurement, so from a starting point to an end point. In a way, it can be the difference between the top layer there, the volt, and the volt. It can be a measurement that you can see this in a front vision in 2 dimensions, but the volt can be a 3-dimensional form then, with a double O. It can be enlarged in there. And if you act with the same, actually exactly the same kind of formation process, this process is doing a pressure inwards, taking only some part back, and there is a measurement, as if within space you lock in a certain point of measurement, and that is exactly what it is directing towards the meaning of the word volt. Anyhow, thanks to you for watching. This was again something, 2 examples which you could find in my book, The Development of the Word, the first volume of the theory of sound in form, with some extra explanations, especially for you if you would like to follow the videos. You always get the extras here. And anyhow, Gerald Johan van Waas, this was again one of these videos. You have the website there, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel for more instructions and examples. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.